Hello, love. Welcome to Soul Support Sunday. These are messages for the highest and the greatest good of what I refer to as the Elsh Collective, empaths, light workers, starseeds, and healers, awakened and awakening souls. Know that if this video has found you, or if you have found it, that there is a message here for you. That is always the intention of these messages. So I am getting right into this message. I do not know how long this is going to go. This is more of a timely message. We've had a lot of those come through. I think the last 2 or 3 messages that I have posted here have been more of energy updates, timeline kind of updates, if you want to call them. Working with the energies here of Mother Mary and Commander Ashtar, both coming through for this message, and the energy of Selenite, which again has been coming up quite a bit. Keeping your energy clear. Selenite is very much a crystal connected to light, is what they're also reminding me of here. The fact that it reflects light, the fact that it is named after the moon and Selene, right, which is the Greek name for the moon and the goddess that is the moon, right? And also reiterating here that the word Selene contains what's often a prefix in Greek to refer to light. And this is across many different languages, El, E-L, and that prefix, often used as a prefix, but it's also used as a suffix depending on the language, referring to light. This idea of even a beacon, something that is a very, what they're showing me is a very primordial reference to light, okay? So I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to just walk you through first what came through in the meditation, okay? Immediately seeing Mother Mary. And if you're familiar with Greek Orthodoxy, because I am very familiar with Greek Orthodoxy, being of Greek background, right? I was seeing images of the Mother Mary come through, her presenting herself as this sort of pando kratoras, meaning holding everything, coming through here though as everything on earth, on Mama Gaia. The word, it's interesting because there's sort of a double meaning here, but the meaning that she's really focusing on here in this particular message is from the verb kratao or krato, which means hold, okay? Embrace is actually what she's showing me. So seeing an image of her very much in the way that it's depicted in a lot of Byzantine iconography, okay? Holding the earth, holding Mama Gaia, and seeing a bright light. I'm just going to refer off to my notes here. This light emanating off of Mama Gaia and off of her as well, okay? And Commander Ashtar coming in to show me rooting this light down into Mother Earth, into Mama Gaia, literally seeing myself, and he's also saying you, seeing yourself, seated in meditation, seated in this energy work, right, of rooting down this light into Mama Gaia, seeing yourself as a tree of light, essentially, and rooting this light down into Mama Gaia. And I heard the question, how are you anchoring the light? How are you anchoring the light? The Sisterhood of the Rose also coming in for this as well, along with Mother Mary. Interesting, Mama Gaia, Mother Mary. It's almost like they seem like they're one right now. seeing the energies of the heart lighting up, the energies of love. I heard grounding love and light into Mama Gaia, and specifically the light of consciousness here, because that term gets thrown around a lot. And what does it mean, right? What does love and light mean? The light of consciousness specifically. And then I heard, this is how we do it. And I heard the song, the Montel Jordan song, for those of you who are 90s babies. And when I mean 90s babies, I mean like you were old enough to remember this song in the 90s, right? Or at least like still young, but old. You know what I mean? Okay. Growing up, hearing this song. And they're reminding me of, they're bringing in this song to be, and Archangel Sandophon is actually wanting to come through for this as well now too. This energy of being light, this energy of staying light, because there is a tremendous deal of heaviness right now. And we'll get to that in a second. This energy of just keeping it light. That's why they shared the song with me. But then they directed me to the name Jordan, Montel Jordan. And I had to look it up because I don't know what the name Jordan means, right? I do know Jordan, the country. I know Jordan, the river. We know that there is a connection in the Bible, obviously, with Jesus, with Jordan and the river Jordan, Jesus being baptized by St. John the Baptist in the river Jordan, or at the banks of the river Jordan, okay? The name Jordan, and I checked a couple of different sources here online. Very Well Family Behind the Name is another one that I like to use and go to. It's to flow down. That's the meaning of Jordan, to flow down or descend. And it makes sense that the Hebrew name, this comes from the Hebrew language, that it would come, some people say Greek Hebrew, but it's Hebrew from what I see mostly. This idea of it being a river flowing down. And this is very much what they want to bring through here, is this idea of the light as a river flowing down through you, anchoring it into Mama Gaia. I don't really feel, but I'm not entirely sure here, because they kept on bringing up quite a bit of imagery around Jordan and Israel. I heard Gethsemane, and that's another thing that I'm going to get to now here too. This is kind of a side message I feel that's coming through here. Is there something happening in that area of the world? I don't know. This could be a whole other thing to get into. For the purpose of this reading, though, they want me to focus on this idea of anchoring the light. They're also pointing to the fact that Jordan is a name that is given to both a boy or a girl when they are born. It's a masculine and a feminine name, coming back to this idea of unity and unity consciousness between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Anchoring the light is almost, you can almost look at it that way, this sort of connection of unifying either side. Okay, now with the Garden of Gethsemane coming through here, what I'm being shown here or confirmed is that we know that we use that the Garden of Gethsemane and Gethsemane as a metaphor for a time where you could almost say is a dark night of the soul, right? A place or occasion, in one specific definition here, which I think I got from, I don't know, maybe it was the Cambridge Dictionary, but I wanted to see exactly what was given here. A place or occasion where there is great mental or spiritual suffering. And what Commander Ashtar, Mother Mary, and the Sisterhood of the Rose want to bring through here, so much of this having to do with Christ consciousness as well, is that there is an energy at the moment, and we know this isn't anything new, but for some reason they really want me to bring it through now in this sort of energy update of great mental and spiritual suffering. And that as light workers and star seeds, especially, okay, as healers and empaths, How are we anchoring the light? How are we doing that energy work? Commander Ashtar reminding me now of the reading that I did with Mama Gaia, and how tired and exhausted she is, and yet she still keeps going. And that we're here as her children, and Commander Ashtar is confirming that, okay? Because sometimes, especially as starseeds, we feel we're not, and I have tremendous empathy for this and understanding and compassion because I've been there, where we do not feel like we fit in here at all. And that's because we are essentially living in an illusion of what the world is supposed to be like. And we have to remember not to get caught up in the illusion of it. And feelings will come for us to process, to channel, is what Commander Ashtar is saying to me, to transmute, right? To take these energies of anguish, to take these energies of suffering, to take these energies of feeling like you do not belong here. When in fact you do. You came here because you essentially are here to do the work that is needed on Mama Gaia. You belong for that reason. And you as a human being, breathing in her air, drinking her water, eating the food that she provides, the blanket of love and energy is what I'm hearing that she covers us in when we walk out into nature, right? When we're there with her, when we feel the warmth of the sun on our face, we are her children. We came here, we incarnated in this body that is of Mother Earth, that is of Mama Gaia, okay? So how are we anchoring the light? As her children, how are we doing that? I just feel like bringing in the selenite again for this before I get into the cards. I am going to be asking through the Work Your Light Oracle. That's all that I was directed to. No, we're not asking through any tarot today, okay? Also, they're directing me to working with selenite to keep your energy light, to keep your energy light, elevated. And they're showing it to me very much in the way that I am seeing Mother Mary having this very large, broad view of Mother Earth, elevating your consciousness in that way. In the actual, it's so crazy because we've got, again, descend to flow down, Jordan, and elevate at the same time, because you're bringing in these higher energy light codes essentially, and you're anchoring them down into Mama Gaia, okay? It's going back to this axiom of what I believe basically it's all connected. To ascend is to descend, and to descend is to ascend, right? It's all connected. It's all connected. Seeing that energy of the luminous gate, the reflection of that in terms of sacred geometry, even in sacred shapes, to understand what that is, okay? All right. So these are asking for messages of soul support in us anchoring the light, okay? In having compassion is what I'm hearing, especially for ourselves. Understanding that when you do the work, and we've spoken about this before, on yourself, you are doing it for the collective, and not being so hard on yourself for feeling like this is something that is so difficult for you to do, okay? Now, last thing I want to do, this is crazy, I almost forgot about this. They just reminded me. I brought out this piece of Tektite. This is part of a pendant necklace that I have with copper all around it. This is exactly what I don't know again why I pulled these out until something is clarified, right? So copper is a conductor of energy. And, oh my God, I can't remember the woman that I got this, a beautiful lady. I got this at a gem show that was being done. And I love the fact that she had wrapped this in copper, because copper is a conductor of energy, okay? I think her name is Christina, but I can't remember the name of her. Anyway, Thank you, Christina. So Tektite is, again, this is a galactic energy merging with Mama Gaia. But remember that Mama Gaia herself is galactic. We are all galactic in a sense. Okay. Um, Now, this is another nod to grounding these energies and anchoring the light, because Tektite is an excellent crystal for grounding galactic energies, or light codes, you could even say. And working in tandem with selenite, this could potentially be a powerhouse. And I have worked with it in the past, and it does do that. It does, again, help you to ground those energies even further down. Because when you're working with selenite, you're working with lighter energies and frequencies, higher frequencies, right? In that respect, more expanded frequencies. And with Tektite, you have a little bit of both in each. And what Commander Ashtar is showing me is that the copper is like you being a conductor of energy. Okay? Thank you for reminding me of that, and thank you for bringing that through. Absolutely. That makes total sense now, right? In terms of this conduction of energy. You are a conductor of energy. So what he's also saying to me is, how are you conducting your energy? How are you anchoring the light? This is a practice, like yoga, like any practice you do. You play a musical instrument, you practice. Every day you interact with people, you go out into the world, you work with the energies of your family, even your guides. How are you taking in those energies and anchoring the light? How are you doing that? Okay, so let's see what wants to come through. You've been doing this for ages. You've been doing this for lifetimes, is what it says. The age of light. You know this instinctively. You know exactly how to do this. So he's telling me it starts with visualization, and it also starts with feeling, depending on how that resonates for you. Okay? So some of us feel the frequencies and feel the energies. Some of us just know what that feels like as we sit in meditation in sacred space, is what he's showing me as well. But this is also something that you can do as you go about your day out in the mall. The mall always comes through, and I'm laughing because I used to work in a mall. Okay, I used to work in a kiosk that sold, interestingly enough, semi-precious stones, crystals, jewelry. This was before I had, a massive awakening around all this stuff. Again, but I always loved them, and I always felt good around them, and I always was like, anyway, I think that's why he always wants to bring this message of the mall in, because I just interacted with so many people. Anyway, that's a story for another time. But he's showing me, like, even when you're out and about, so giving the example of a mall, people in the mall, people you come into contact with, he's showing me you protected in a bubble of light. It could be any shape that works for you. I am going to be doing a video on this, by the way. I will be doing a video on this. You protected, you and your light bubble, you shielded, filtering, energies through this light bubble, but also simply shining a light, like, again, like a candle in a dark room. The light lit, you as that light, working that light as you go through your day, and always remembering that you're choosing the light of consciousness as you work through your day in your interactions with people, because you've been doing this for lifetimes. You know how to do this already instinctively. There are practices as well that are very specific, kind of going back to the Mama Gaia work, okay, that I've spoken of before, where you sit in meditation and you visualize light coming from source energy through your pillar of light, the top of your head, going through your pillar of light, your column of light, down your spine, right the center through your body, rooting that energy down into Mama Gaia. He continues to give me this visual of you sitting in a chair. Okay, you can also sit in like a half lotus position. all that, whatever resonates for you. What he shows me is that in a chair you have the back support, so that might be helpful, right? And literally, like, what I'm seeing is, like, I'm looking down and I'm seeing just this spiral energy of light moving down your light pillar, your column of light, right down into the core of Mama Gaia. You're being a channel and a conductor of this light energy for her. Visualizing that. Visualizing this light energy coming down, like through the roof of your house, wherever you are. If you're outside, wherever it is, hitting the top of your head and you being that conductor of that energy, okay? Just like this image. And this is the sheath he's showing me around you. And in this case, it's a pyramid. It looks like a pyramid of light, okay? Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, and be held. He's also saying that, and this is something that's come up before, so you may have already heard this, right? That when you connect to Source as a light worker, you are replenishing yourself in addition to replenishing Mama Gaia. Doing this practice is incredibly replenishing. You are going back to Source, is what he's saying. Source is within you always, but it's like you're going inward to connect back to Source and bring that light and the light of consciousness down into Mama Gaia. This is Mother Mary to me, Star Mother. How are you mothering yourself? So this goes back to the fact that self-care is care of everyone else. Self-care is care of Mama Gaia. Self-care is an act of love. It's an act of tremendous unconditional love. This is the self-care of rest and replenishment. This is not the self-care, you know what I'm like, this is not an egoic, dysfunctional aspect of taking care of yourself. This is a healthy, functional aspect of what is healthy and good for you, okay? These are divine feminine energies. I'm getting the High Priestess coming through here as well. The energies of Mother Mary here. There's something with the moon here as well, because she's sitting, I mean, that's very High Priestess, right? The imagery of the High Priestess coming through here from the tarot. Yeah, and the Sisterhood of the Rose, this connection to the Sisterhood of the Rose. Just keep on hearing your heart as a portal. Yeah. And their energies are so, if this resonates for you, if you feel connected to Mother Mary, the Sisterhood of the Rose, to call upon them in a sacred space, to connect with their energies. Call upon them to help you anchor the light. Call upon them to help you to integrate love and the light of consciousness, those energies within yourself, okay? The Pleiades card came out here as well. So this is also a nod to Pleiadian energies, if that resonates for you, to call upon them, to assist you. A lot of work with the Pleiadians right now happening in grounding these energies, because we've got 4 figures coming out here in this card. That is the energy of being grounded, amongst other things, okay? This could also be the energy of working with elementals. That's a whole other thing. That is a specific message. If it resonates for you, that is for you, okay? Double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. This goes back to the river flowing down and ascension, okay? Channeling, bringing the energy down, and uplifting. And this goes back to Montel Jordan, and this is how we do it. That energy of just like, oh, Archangel Sandalphon, thank you. Just like speaking to us through song, okay? He's hearing our prayers. He's hearing our prayers when we do this. Again, another energy to work with if you feel called to, okay? In anchoring these energies and keeping it light. Keeping the energy light. Being present. Putting on a song that gets you in a mood, that gets you in a good mood and a vibe. That's you spreading your light. That's you, you know, being a light. Okay. And there's nothing, this is the other thing, there is nothing, because sometimes, especially as empaths, right, when there's so much shit going on, and we feel that tremendously, right? Part of self-care is taking the time out to put on a song you absolutely love, even though you are feeling what you are feeling, to take care of yourself. Doing it in your own safe space, doing it in the car, you know, when you're driving. That affects everybody around you too, even when you're driving on the road, right? You know, like how many times have I looked over at somebody and they're like, yeah, yeah, like they see me, they see me like busting out in the car and they're like, yeah, because we need that, okay? We need that to fill our cups. That's definitely a confirmation from these Pleiadian energies coming through for this, okay? And we've got Mintakan at the bottom of the deck. The Mintakans have been referred to as the original light workers, okay? Longing for home, belonging, the original light workers, okay? Now, this is a nod to the energy of kind of coming back to this, right? Where you don't necessarily feel like you belong. And that when you, one of the ways to kind of alchemize this energy is to remember your light and to remember connecting to source light, to remember your mission and why you're here, okay? To take that energy and remember, to take the energy of longing and remember that you came here on a mission to take that energy and alchemize it into love and the light of consciousness, okay? There is a lot of water energy right about now. And I'm just going to hold up the Mintakans because their energy is very much connected to water and light, okay? Jordan, the River Jordan, flow, this idea of flow, this idea of imagining this light coming down, flowing down like a river. There is something in the element of water that is very prevalent right now. At least it has been coming up a lot on my radar for a while now. Like, we're talking months. It's been like at least 2-3 months off the top of my head that I can remember. You know, we've got this deep replenishment card here with this beautiful water as well coming through, the energies of the moon coming through with the Star Mother as well, connected to water, okay? There's something about water. Again, we know this is connected to the divine feminine. These are energies of the divine feminine. These are energies of flow, of being in the flow, of allowing energies and emotions and these waves that feel very heavy, emotions that feel very heavy, to ebb and flow through you. And anchoring this light of consciousness, anchoring this light is going to be very helpful in you doing that. It's going to be very helpful in you processing that, okay? If you feel called to work with the element of water, remember that water is also very purifying. It's cleansing. It's constantly, for the most part, moving, right? It absorbs consciousness water. It is the primordial element in alchemy. So if you feel called to work with water, start studying it, start connecting with it. Work with crystals that you find a connection to with water, you know. Celestite is one crystal that I work with, apophyllite, the orca whale agate, the ocean jaspers. Those crystals can assist you in connecting to those energies, okay? Because there's something in that. There's something in the water that is here to temper our energies, tempering solar flares, tempering light codes. I'm seeing the Temperance card now in the tarot. This idea of alchemizing our energies with the assistance and the support of the element of water, okay? And even water elementals, right? Because, you know, This beautiful figure looks like a mermaid. Okay, so yes, if that resonates with you, then that's a confirmation for that, okay? If you feel called to do that, of course. Okay. I'm going to end this reading holding up this Star Mother card, these beautiful blue energy as well coming through here. Again, back to the water. Thanking you so much for being here, okay? Remembering to take care of yourself, and that in doing so, you take care of everything else. Thank you to Mother Mary for coming through for this message. Thank you to Commander Ashtar. Thank you to Archangel Sandalphon, the energies coming through this reading, the Pleiadians, the Mintakans, okay? Mama Gaia, here to support us, and we are here to support her. I'm sending you so much love, wherever you are, in love and liberation always. Thank you for being here.